I'm trying to shield myself from all the shade that is being thrown these last couple of days. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Millennials Anonymous. It is your girl, Lise Winnie here. Back again, just like I said that I would be. And yes, my name is Lise, and I am a millennial. So we are going to get this party started today. But before I do that, I gotta let you know about a couple things. And I know you're like, what is it? Let me tell you. So we have a special episode, a viewer's choice episode of Millennials Anonymous coming up this Thursday. So if you are available at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can watch it on Millennials Anonymous podcast. And then we'll also have that live streaming on YouTube. So if you can't get to Facebook for whatever reason, you can still watch it live streamed on YouTube. How amazing is that? And we're going to have 3 special guest panels. We're going to have Alicia Nicole from the Alicia Experience with Ashley Hayes, who's also a part of the Alicia Experience, and Christy Kenny Ogle. So we are going to have an amazing time. It is going to be, like, I would say, like a millennial viewer's choice relationship type of vibe going, because a lot of the questions seem to be like relationship based. So it should be a fun time. So tune into that. You can chime in, ask questions, all that lovely stuff. And I want to let you guys know to please tune in this episode. We're going to have Miss Ashley, the cannabis nurse, back again on Brunching with E. Digger and Lees at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard this Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun and laugh and jokes and good times on there as well. And if you didn't get a chance to watch last week's episode, please tune into that. It's much fun. Mucho fun. So watch and enjoy. But let's get into it because we got a lot of hot trending topics to talk about today. Okay. All right, let's get this party started, right? Let's get this party started quickly. All right. So, Rihanna may be coming out with some new music in December. The rumor mills are swirling in a buzz that Riri says she gonna need that money because she's coming out with that much anticipated album, potentially, allegedly. And in Texas, it is now a crime, don't you know, to send unsolicited nude pics, as it should be, as if they are unsolicited, they're probably unsolicitedly very bad. Antonio Brown is now a patriot after he caused a big fiasco of all kind of sorts, and Nicki Minaj is now apologizing to her fans because her publicist Roman apparently wrote an online tweet saying that she is leaving rap. However, she is still retiring to start a family to create little Romans. And Cardi B is allegedly feuding with a group of 10-year-old white suburban rappers and their parents about a comment that they made or a rap that they made about her. Serena Williams wins her 100th U.S. Open match but loses the U.S. Open match finals to Canadian Bianca Andreescu. North Korea has launched not one, but 2 missiles in hopes to try to get U.S. attentions to get those talks back going. More than 40 people have been confirmed dead in the wake of Dorian in the Bahamas, and the Bahamas is not taking any more perishable donations at this time, as a lot of the donations that have been sent are spoiling because most of the residents have left the island to go to the main island in Bahamas because the help or aid just came just slightly too late, and unfortunately they said they are still looking for more people. Sarah Palin's husband files for divorce after 31 years. I guess he said he don't want to see Russia from his house no more. And 50 is feuding with Paris Jackson of all people. They said it's 50 over his comments he made about Chris Brown in comparison to Michael Jackson, and coming back and saying that Michael Jackson apparently hurts little boys' butts. 50 is 50, I guess. And a Pennsylvania couple is facing felony charges after they spent over $100,000 of an accidental bank deposit from BB&T. So that has been your hot trending topics of the week. Let's get into it. All right, so let's get this moving, popping, dropping, and locking. So as you know, and we've kind of hit on it a little bit here, that Nicki Minaj has decided that she is going to retire from the rap game. And I know we're all out there sitting crying and hoping that she is going to make her return. We've heard people like Meg the Stallion, or Meg the Stallion, I think is the correct pronunciation of her name, said that she doesn't think that Nicki Minaj is done. 50 Cent has also jumped into it, saying that he's hoping that Nicki Minaj is not done with rap as well. And a lot of people are sitting there kind of scratching their heads about what happened. So all of a sudden, she had just recently dropped some new music, and her album, not album, the video for Hot Girl Summer actually just dropped a couple of weeks ago. And so people are kind of sitting here scratching their heads and pondering what happened to Nicki Minaj. She was just kind of making this surface. She just had Queen. I think Queen came out last year. She was still kind of making music. She had a new song that came out a little bit earlier this year with Trina, which was M.A.P.S. So you had the song that came out with Meg the Stallion. And so, what happened? We don't really know exactly what happened, but she did announce that she wanted to start a family. Now, allegedly, and I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know if she's confirmed it or not, she did change her name on Twitter and her other sites to be Petty, which is the last name of her boyfriend or fiance that she had. And so it's possible that she's married. So we know that she wanted to have kids for a while. She's really been trying to get this whole family thing going. So getting a family to her is extremely important. So it seems like she might be trying to start this whole new life, maybe have a baby, settle down, be a married wife, kind of doing things from the background, or maybe she just wants to be a stay-at-home mom. I really don't know. But my thing is, because it was so sudden, and her fans felt some kind of way because they didn't even get as much as a text, Nicki. You couldn't send them a text. You couldn't send them like a DM, nothing. They couldn't get nothing. And I'm a big Nicki fan. I've had Nicki's music for a while. I've been rolling with Nicki since she came out, and she was with all the crazy wigs and all the changing voices, and she was Roman and all that. I've been with her for a while. Don't know what happened to Roman. Is apparently she always paired Roman with some British accent. I'm confused. But I remember that Nicki, when she was straight out the gate of Young Money. Now, I didn't rock with her from the very beginning because I didn't have her mixtapes. I'm not going to sit here and say that I did. I wasn't listening to her when she was underground. But once she became mainstream, I was a big Nicki supporter. I think a lot of her issue, my opinion, again, it's like a butthole. Everybody got one. It's my opinion. I think my opinion of what happened to Nicki is that, one, she's in a game where I feel like for female rappers, they don't get the same level of respect. They don't get the same levels of opportunity, and they have more of a date on them. Unfortunately, when it comes to women, especially in the entertainment industry, we tend to have a date on us. So whereas men can kind of continue to, they get more distinguished with age, and the salt and pepper hair becomes a good thing for them. As women age, although Nicki Minaj, I think she's like 37 or something like that. Like, she's not that old, but in this world, the younger you are as a woman when you're in the entertainment industry, the more opportunities there are. The older you get, the less opportunities there are. And I think that that's kind of what happened to Nicki. And then there's also was an abundance. I remember when she was saying in one of her raps, like, you can't get mad at me or something like that because all you bees are gone, meaning that all the female rappers are gone. And I think she liked being in a place where she was the only one. And all of a sudden, female rappers became more of a thing. And it wasn't even just female rappers, because at the time she had people out. There were people that were there, like Remy Ma was out when Nicki was out. Kim overlapped a little bit into the Nicki era, but not much, because Kim was kind of on her way out when Nicki was becoming big. Not saying that she stopped rapping, but it seems like there's always a group in the entertainment industry where somebody is hot and then somebody is not. It's like you can't have more than one hot female artist at a time for some reason. And so at the time that Kim was kind of coming down, Nicki was coming up. And like I said, Remy, she was out, but she had gotten locked up. So then Remy kind of went away. Then you had like, young M.A. came along, but she was different in the sense that she wasn't selling the same type of appeal that Nicki had. So I think that with Nicki not being the only one, I think she felt kind of some kind of way. And then when you started to have people that came out that didn't necessarily have to do the same thing she had to do to get where she was, I think she also felt some kind of way. So then you started to see people coming in from the reality world becoming female rappers. Then you have Cardi B now. You have what's the hot what I don't even know what their names are. Are they the hot girls? Some city girls. That's their names. So you can tell I'm old. I'm sorry. You had Cardi B, you have the City Girls that have made their appearance. Meg The Stallion has come out. So you're starting to have, you got Cash Doll and all these other people, and so now she's got all of this competition now, and so rightfully so, you're no longer getting the same levels of attention, and I think that's kind of what prompted this. Right before this happened, I think there's a now deleted tweet. I think she had went after, and she doesn't like the comparisons between her and the other rappers, and especially the new school rappers. And she says that people are hating on her a lot. And I can feel Nicki a little bit on that. She kind of went off. You saw some of the stuff that she said when she was on the Joe Budden podcast. So shout out to the Joe Budden podcast. I love his podcast, by the way. But she kind of, and on Queen Radio, which shout out to Queen Radio also, because Queen Radio is, I actually like her show and podcast quite a bit. And she kind of went off and she kind of explained that the hate train that she feels like she has, and she gets unfairly judged, unlike some of the other artists that kind of have this bigger machine behind them now, because like I said, there can only be one hot female entertainer at a time. So you kind of start to see the shifts that take place. And so what I think happened with her is that she felt the hate train that was coming, but I think that she also had to split her time, or people were becoming interested in something else. So at the time, like I said, Cardi B was out. She was more open because Cardi was more accepting to have people into her life, because we didn't really know Nicki like that. Like, Nicki didn't allow us inside of her life to figure out exactly who she was. Like, we got all the little characters and bits and pieces and the colors and Pink Fridays and all of that, but we didn't know Nicki. We felt like we knew Cardi. Like, Cardi came in, like, she just invited you into her world, like, welcome to my world, bitches. Like, but Cardi, I think sometimes too much so, allows us into her world, but she allowed us into her world. Nicki didn't do that. So people felt that they had a better connection with Cardi. And so then over time, Cardi became the new hot thing. And then once Bodak Yellow came out, you really saw the shift. And then I think, like I said, Nicki felt some kind of way because people started to compare the two, and she felt or feels as though she's, writes her own rhymes and she has more involvement in what's going on with her image and her albums. And so she's really like grinding, and she felt like, whether it's true or not, that some of the other female artists weren't doing that, and they just kind of were like sleeping their way to the top, and they were kind of getting what they got because the industry kind of wanted to push them, and it wasn't about talent. And so she felt some kind of way. Now, I know that I think she's had some issues with Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club recently. Well, not recently, but over time. She has been in the news a lot for kind of not having the best behavior. And so I think people are kind of falling out of love with her. And so I think she felt like this was her time. I think she just kind of got tired of it. I don't think she's gone. I think you will see Nicki Minaj in music again. I think she will come out with an album again. I think maybe she needed to take a break because, like I was saying, so this all started because the tweet came after she was retiring, after she was actually feuding with I think it's a blog, hiphopdx.com or something like that. And they had taken her album and Cardi, or a song of Cardi and Nicki, and they kind of were comparing them. And she kind of went off, like, why do you keep comparing us and all of that type of stuff? And I think she feels minimized by people comparing her to Cardi, because she doesn't think that Cardi is on the same level as her as far as an artist wise. And this is what I'm getting from the tweets and the comments and the stuff. Like, I didn't talk to Nicki. I don't know Nicki. But just from the stuff that she's put out there, that's what I see. I see that she feels like Cardi is not on her level, and she feels some kind of way. And I think because she does write her rhymes and her lyrics, and she's so involved in her music, I think she took that to heart, that people don't appreciate her. People don't appreciate what she's doing for music and what she does as a female hip hop artist. And I think she was tired of it. And then people keep talking about her struggle twerk, and she didn't like that either. And then now she has an even younger rival that has come out, which is Meg the Stallion, even though her and Meg have partnered together. Because I feel like if you can't beat them, you gotta join them. But I feel like she's still, even in that situation or scenario, Meg the Stallion still got better reviews about her, not even just her album, because I think her album did a little better than Queen did, but people, even in the verses in that song, in the video, like, I think she felt like, okay, I can't win. And I think she just had enough. Like I said, I think she'll be back. And I think y'all need to stop talking about her struggle twerk, because it's not all about twerking all the daggone time. It's really not, because one day Meg needs gonna need some of that, Arm and Hammer or whatever, WD-40 on her knees too. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But just let her relax. And I think if we send her some messages, and maybe not in her DM, because she might cuss you out, because that's kind of spicy. But if you send us some messages online, Nicki fans, Barbs, I think she might come back. I think you can convince her to come back. Now, she might not come back right now because she's trying to have a baby. She might already be pregnant. But I think over time, you will get another Nicki album. That's just me. I feel like you will get one. So just hang in there. Us from the Beehive are supporting you. I can't say we understand, because, Beyonce just dropped a surprise album on you in a minute. But we understand. Hang in there. All right, let's talk. So, 9 relationship problems millennials face the most of any age group, according to therapists. And this article was in bustle.com. I always call it that. Bustle.com. I always say bustle. Bustle.com by Karina Wolf. This actually is a little older article. I think it was written last year, but I came upon it and I was kind of intrigued by it. So I'm going to talk about it regardless of the fact. So it says that millennials tend to date differently than other generations and groups. And it's basically because of things like dating apps. They're postponing marriage, even though marriage is down. So when we do get married, we stay married, which is good. And then frequent hookups, and, they have other issues. Yeah, just, I guess, the issue being millennial. And then, of course, all the new technologies and things of that nature. So they're saying that there's 9 distinct things that are causing this, or issues that we are facing now if you are trying to get or be or stay in a relationship. And one of the big ones, they said, is having different goals. So millennials tend to have issues when it comes to deciding their future. So they don't want to settle down right away. And so they don't want to get married, which means that we prioritize things like careers and travel more than we do being in a romantic relationship. Now, how do I feel about this? Now, I don't necessarily agree on the terms of one person wants to settle down and the other person doesn't, because I think that a lot of millennials, we don't necessarily I don't think that's the issue. I think now having different goals based on finances, I think is a bigger issue because I think that we are in an era where, especially for millennials, that like student loans and just debt in general is outrageous. And so if you have someone that's not good with managing debt, I can see how that could really like ransack a relationship. So I think that's probably a bigger issue when it comes to different goals. But I mean, I guess that there is this era or this trend of I just kind of want to be leisurely and date here and go there and date here and go there. I don't see anything necessarily wrong with that. But if you're saying in general we like to kind of be on our own, how can that be an issue of settling down? To me, that's a little contradictory, but okay. So I don't necessarily agree there. But they said that we also have the inability to communicate about conflict. Hmm. I don't know. I feel like I communicate about conflict quite a bit, so I don't agree with this one either, but I could see where this could possibly be true. So it says that millennials rely on texting to have conversations as opposed to having in person communication. Okay. Now, in that case, I agree. I prefer not to talk to you. So if you call me 9 out of 10, this is just me. So 9 out of 10, I'm probably not going to answer the phone, but I will text you back because sometimes you just don't feel like talking. You know what I mean? Especially if you talk all day and stuff like that. Sometimes you just don't feel like talking. So I could see that. You know what I mean? Not being able to communicate. Now I can tell you how I feel all day long in person and via text. But I'd rather tell it to you via text because I really don't want to talk to you that long. So maybe, yeah, maybe it's true. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's probably true. But I've seen people also that have gotten dumped via text. I've seen people who have quit via text. So I guess, yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go with that one. That one's true. All right, that one's true. We do have a difficult time communicating with people in person, and it's mostly because we just don't want to. You know what I mean? And then it says jealousy over social media actions, which is something that our grandparents didn't have to worry about. Pop never had to answer to mama or grandmama, why did you like that bitch picture on Instagram? So I agree. So having social media has changed the game. Having social media has gotten more people caught in infidelity than ever before. Because it's not that grandpop, grandpappy, it's not that the granddads of America didn't cheat. It's that they didn't have social media to get them caught cheating so they could do the cheatation across town and you didn't even know you had, brothers and sisters over there because of how small the world was because you didn't have social media. Now you can be found out quite easily. And nothing that is deleted is ever really gone, especially if you are a woman, you know how to get those things back. So I'm just saying, I agree with that as well. Social media has changed the dynamic of relationships. I think that relationships will ever be changed because of it. And then we have unrealistic expectations and perceptions of what relationships should be based off of the fact that our parents decided that in the 80s and 90s they all wanted to get divorced. So now we've all grown up in the area of millennials of having parents that are separated, and so we don't know exactly what I guess a healthy functioning relationship looks like. And then now when we do see relationships, we see everything on social media, so we think everything is roses and cherry and happy, and that's not true. So yep, I could see that. And that one's true. And then it says anxiety about the future. Yeah, so, as a person who suffers from anxiety, I agree. I think more of us probably do suffer from anxiety, or as Bill Maher calls us, snowflakes. Um, yeah, yeah, but I think that we have different things to worry about. So, we have to worry about not only just the same bills and debt that our families had to worry about. And if you have families, now you got to worry about that. We have student loans, which are something that a lot of them didn't have to deal with. And if they did have student loans, they were so much smaller. So we have that as unexpected. We got climate change on our midst. We having all these souped up storms because of the climate. We have Florida's about to just be just Disney World, in a minute because it's just going to be under the water. And I'm sure Disney will capitalize off that in some kind of way. And, I just feel like we have bigger things to worry about that our other generations didn't have to worry about. Look, we got, y'all didn't have a president like we got. Just saying. So we got other things to worry about. So that is true. That is very true. So I agree with that. And it says that we don't have as many, or we don't have as great coping mechanisms as our other people did in the past. So we need to create better strategies to help us cope. I agree with that. So I'm going to go with that. And then it also says, um, fubbing is, am I saying this right? Is when a person snubs their partner by being on their phone as opposed to interacting. So I'm going to agree with that. Yes, I do that a lot where I will be on my phone because sometimes, let's just be real, sometimes the stuff that be going on in the phone, it'd be a little bit more interesting than what's going on right here. I'm not gonna lie, not all the time, but sometimes, like Chris Rock said, sometimes you've heard the same story and it's like, dude, can you get kidnapped? They have some new stories to tell me just because. So, I mean, I'm just saying it's not every day, but I could see how that one can be true. And then I can see how the person could feel isolated and vice versa. Because I've had that happen to me as well with my spouse being on the phone. So, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. Yep. Yeah, I'll go with that one. That one is true. And it says that in order to help with this one, we kind of got to disconnect. So it says keep phones in pockets or bags so that you both remain in the moment. And then it also says oversharing on social media. I'm going to have to say yes. Now, listen, come in close, millennials. I want all to, in Generation Z, please come in close because I want you to hear this. Stop sharing all your business on social media. I don't want to hear the play by play, blow for blow everything because I feel like we hear all the positive stuff because everybody wants to convey relationship goals and all that stuff. I want you to know that that's fake. If somebody is sending you something every minute of all the positive things and they never have anything negative to say, that's probably not true. And on social media, you've got to know that they're only going to put out the positive stuff. So if your relationship doesn't match what they have going on social media, it's probably because they're not telling it to you. So it's okay. So stop comparing your spouse and partner about that. And the people that are doing that, I don't need to know what y'all ate every 15 minutes. I don't need to know that y'all have on the same outfit. I don't need to know that he came home and said, "Hey, honey, you're so amazing." And then you're posting that. I don't need to know that. I don't need y'all to go live. I don't need you to stream it. I don't want to see it. Keep it as separate in a way because as soon as y'all break up, then you want to wonder why everybody's all in your business. That's why. You know what I mean? People can only be in your business if you allow them to be in your business. I'm telling you this from just a fact. I post very few pictures of my spouse and I. Just recently I did because my anniversary came up. You saw me post a picture. But if you look on there, there's very few pictures. There's a reason for that because then other people aren't in your business. If something happens, they may not realize that right away. Just saying, keep it off of there. I don't want to see it. And I'm tired of seeing all the fake relationship goals. There is no such thing as a relationship goal except for being in the relationship that you want to be in and be as happy as you can be. Don't compare your relationship to nobody else. I'm trying to tell you, don't do that because we don't see the whole thing. You only see what people want you to see. So stop it. Stop. I don't want to stop. And then they also said that cheating is now easier because you have social media. Agreed. You have all of these different apps now, that you can go to. You can cheat on Instagram. You can cheat on Facebook. You can go on Plenty of Fish. You can go on. You got it. Name one, pick one, you got it. So I agree with that. I think that it's easier, like I said, with the whole thing. Now you have everybody's at your access. All you have to do is get into somebody's DMs, and it's a lot easier to meet up with people. Yeah, I would say yeah. And then it also depends on what you consider cheating. So some people consider that cheating, some people don't. They call it a micro cheat now. And then why do we have to have terms for everything? Like, what is that about? Like, everything is a term now. Like, let we gotta let that go. And then it says that now most of us are living with our parents or with roommates, so it's making it harder to be in a relationship and mature and grow up when you're living in your parents' house. It's kind of hard to have sex on a twin bed. Not saying that I haven't done it, but it's very hard to do. So I get that. I agree with that as well. And then they're also saying that problems with budgeting. Yes, I would think that that's the biggest issue that we face because we have so much debt. Again, I said this before. So we're having harder times of maintaining out the bills we need to because healthcare is expensive, insurance is expensive, taxes are expensive, and we got student loans. This is a lot. You know what I mean? Cost of living is going up. Rent is high in the mud. It's like now you can't even get a 1 bedroom house without paying $3,500. Like, why do I need to pay for $3,500 for a 1 bedroom shack off the river? You know what I'm saying? I feel like Sam Cooke. I was born by the river, and it's $3,500. So that song probably would be a little bit different today because that would be what they would call it an exclusive, upscale waterfront property. Just saying. So yeah, we got a lot of issues. I agree with this article. So go and read it. It's an amazing article. I like it. I think most of it's true. I thought I wouldn't, but I did. All right, so let's talk about it. So, and yes, I'm pulling something up, so that's why I'm not looking directly at you at the moment. But let's talk about it. So, we got this article that I saw in the Atlantic, and it is how attractive people affect your brain. I was kind of curious about this because we all have a reaction. If you see somebody that's an attractive person, we all kind of have a reaction. Like, usually, and I'm kind of looking crazy, that's why I'm doing this. Like, what's going on with me? Usually, what happen when you see an attractive person, you usually smile. Most people, unless you're like a sociopath or something like that, or maybe a serial killer or whatever. But most people, if you see an attractive person, your automatic reaction is to smile. And we've heard things over time. You've heard that attractive people get more job offers. We heard that attractive people tend to make more money. We heard that attractive people are given more opportunities and things like that. So we know that it does something to the brain because if that was the case, we wouldn't see all these attractive people that shouldn't be where they at. You know what I mean? So let's see what they had said in the Atlantic is that the problem starts with brain chemistry. So when you see an attractive person, the left ventral of the tinge mental area of the brain becomes active and will pump out dopamine, says Heather Fisher, a biological anthropologist who studies attraction at the Kinsey Institute. She said dopamine is a stimulant to the brain, so some people might react with surprise or awkwardness. That feeling is the weak need giddiness that a very attractive person can inspire, which can leave you fumbling for words and feeling off balance, even though a dopamine rush is fundamentally a pleasurable experience. And they did this based on MRI scans of people's brains. And so they observed the brain and lighting and seeing like the lighting up in the response to the stimuli in that particular left ventral tingemental area, which I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong, or commonly referred to the left VTA. Let's call it that. I like that one better. Sounds like a bus. I'll go with it. And it is responsible for pleasurable reaction to beauty. So it says that meanwhile, the right side of the VTA provides the dopamine that fuels romantic love. The two responses are similar, but they are neurologically distinct, which means, listen to this, that people feel when they see a random pretty face isn't necessarily a desire for romance or even sex. The same thing is probably happens when you look at a good painting. So it can pump out dopamine and perhaps a slight feeling of giddiness. So, what do I think about that? So, I think that it's true And like when I see somebody who is attractive to me, again, I don't necessarily automatically want to fall in love with them, nor do I automatically want to have sex with them. Now, I don't know if this is the same for men and women, because I feel like maybe men's is different, but I could be totally wrong. It doesn't distinguish between the two of whether or not men have a different reaction. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like when men see an attractive woman, it brings upon a different response than when women see an attractive man. I feel like they're two totally different responses. But then again, I guess it's not necessarily seeing a pretty face, because it didn't say seeing an attractive person who has, no, it didn't say seeing a person that has a nice physique. It just said seeing a person who has an attractive face. So in that case, I guess you're right. Because men, I think, don't necessarily equate pretty face with sexual desire. I think it's more so the body of it. I could be wrong. Let me know, men. I'm not a man. I don't know. It's just alleged, whatever. But I feel like this is very much true. And I think this would explain why attractive people tend to get better outcomes in life. I think that it does, if it's going to make people happy in order to see you physically. I could see why. So I guess it's almost like a drug type of feeling. If you're going to get dopamine every time, and that makes me feel some kind of way, you know, but I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it doesn't necessarily have to be. I may not find the same people attractive, but if you do find somebody attractive and you're a boss, you might, if you got some dopamine running in your brain, you might be more likely to give them a raise. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come in their office like, hey, you made me feel happy today. I think I like seeing you. I don't know, maybe that's sexual harassment. Somebody let me know. But you don't have to say that out loud. I mean, you can say it in your brain. And then if you give them a raise, they ain't gonna know why you gave them a raise. And then you feel good because you saw them. You feel good because they got a raise. And now they even happier when they come to work. You know what I mean? And so now you get to see a smiling, attractive face. Now, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody, because they were talking about fumbling and falling over. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody that attractive where I couldn't function. Like, to me, I don't know. Maybe it's because of where I live at. Now, this is a sidebar to a sidebar. And I'm a sidebar to a sidebar kind of girl. I live in Baltimore. Okay. We are always on everybody's list of the most ugly people ever. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't live in California. And no knock to Baltimore, because I think we look just fine. But they had said that we ain't cute. And I don't know. I feel some kind of way about that too. Because like, I'm a Baltimore native, so what you saying about me? But maybe it's because of where I live. I guess if I lived in like Miami, or maybe if I lived in California or LA somewhere, maybe I might have those feelings. But I've never experienced that. It where you see somebody that's so attractive you can't talk, or you kind of are like falling over stuff. To me, that sounds like that high school type of love, that elementary, middle school type of feeling. And even then, which was many, 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 many moons ago, I don't even know if they had electricity then, but I don't even think then I had that experience where I could not function when I saw somebody. Now, I've had people that I liked, and you do that little smiling, but I don't think I had it where I couldn't function or talk. I mean, I don't know. I guess you still got the giddy feeling, but you can still function. Like, I don't know who these people that are grown up adults that actually could not function in seeing an attractive person. But like I said, I don't know. If I saw maybe, I don't know who is, I don't know, like, because I have people that I'm attracted to for different reasons. So I'm trying to think of somebody that has a really attractive face, and if I saw them, if it would make me uncomfortable. Maybe Boris Kojo or whatever. If I saw him in person, I don't know. Maybe because I've never met him in person, maybe I might have that reaction. I don't know, because I think he has a really nice face, but I also don't know that if you are around a celebrity in general, if you would have those same types of feelings, because they just have this aura of being above human, I guess. You know what I mean? Especially if it's somebody that you respect. So I don't know how, I mean, I feel about necessarily if this is true as far as not being able to control yourself, but I do feel like when you see an attractive person, you're probably more likely to do something for them. Like, you're more likely to hold the door open. Instead of just shutting the door in their face, you're going to hold the door. You're going to say hello. You're going to say thank you, as opposed to, if you saw like Grimace, or whatever, the Hamburglar, somebody look like that, you might not hold the door. You know what I mean? So I do agree that, yeah, your brain probably does do something as far as making you want to be nicer. Not able to function, that to me, that sounds like a movie. What are your thoughts? Do you think that? Leave a comment below. Let me know if you've ever experienced that in your life, because I haven't. All right, so let's talk about it. So, Pornhub is saving the world. Yes, I said it. Pornhub is trying to save the world. So, what are they doing now that the Amazon is burning? They actually were doing this before the Amazon was burning, and I did not know that it looks like they've been doing this for a couple of years now. So, Pornhub said that they are going to be planting a tree for every 100 videos watched in a specific category on their site. So this is according to BuzzFeed. And like I said, there are actually many articles out there about them doing this, which is absolutely hilarious to me. And I think that men are going to be the ones that save the world. Listen, so it says that Pornhub gives America Wood, which is a type of this. That's the name of it. That is the name of the event. And it's an annual event that is held on Arbor Day. I don't even know what Arbor Day. Somebody explain to me. Have you? I don't know what that is. Like, what is Arbor Day? Somebody tell me what Arbor Day is. So the wood, listen to me. The wood. Okay, my mind is in the gutter now. I've lost it. They made me lost it. So the porn site said that they over 12,000 trees have been planted so far since Arbor Day, which was on April 25th. And this Arbor Day, Pornhub says that they are going to do their best to make sure that America is donating as many trees as they can. So one tree for every 100 videos. And they're going to be doing this again. They're going to be doing it again. And it's for videos that are viewed in a specific category. I'm not going to tell you what category that is, but it's an interesting one nonetheless. The more videos that are viewed, the more trees they will plant. And then while you're watching some nice pieces of video, it says ASH, ASH. This is on BuzzFeed. You'll also be helping spruce America up by them planting trees. So it remains unclear where the trees will be planted. So they didn't say exactly where the trees will be planted, but they have planted over 12,000 trees. And people said that porn was bad. So in the era of the Amazon burning, I don't see a problem with this. I think that, like I said, I think men and 12-year-old boys are going to save the world. And you never thought that that would happen, but it is going to happen. And maybe I think Pornhub should expand this. Maybe it should be more than just on that one day, because the porn industry is what's $1 billion industry. I know people that carry that around on their phone. If you imagine, if you could, we can't get people to recycle. You know what I mean? We can't get people to recycle. But if you said, if you watch this porno, we will help with the recycling efforts. We would be able to stop global warming. See, this is what's wrong. Listen, government. I want to hear Elizabeth Warren says she got a policy for everything. Listen, Elizabeth, I'm thinking maybe you should partner with Pornhub. I think that we can really combat this climate change. I think they've got a great idea. I think this is the future. They say millennials aren't having sex anyway. So this is a great way. So if you're going to have sex and you're going to have sex with yourself, why not plant a tree? You know what I mean? Like, imagine, instead of just having your seeds go to waste, now you can say that I can fruitfully fruit the world of trees that can help the oxygen, since this is my contribution. And I didn't have to do anything but use a sock. Like, I think that to me is just what the world needs. And we need to, like I said, expand this. I think it should go beyond just planting trees. I think this should go to recycling, you know. So for this particular Arbor Day, I think the category was, for this particular section on YouTube, well, not YouTube, Pornhub. So I think that they should partner, and then maybe for each section they have, they should do something in relation to that. You know what I mean? Because I think for planting the tree, they wanted you to look up videos about men that were well endowed. That's the best way I can say that. And so if you looked up a video in that category of well endowed men, they would plant a tree, aka, or they try to make it clever, for the wood. So if you imagine all of the different genres of porn that we could save the environment. Or maybe, for maybe the money shot videos, maybe we could do something for gun control. You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep it going. I think we got a purpose and a point here, and I think Pornhub is giving our way. I think now they should partner. No, Playboy is going under. They're closing. No one's doing that now. But I'm sure that there's some other sites out there. I know that there's some other sites out there. Why don't the porn industry start conveying a message? I think Killer Mike actually did something like this on his show. I think that he was trying to teach a trade or something, and instead of just having like a boring video, he made it into like a porno video, and more people are more likely to watch it. I think that's where we go with this. We want to convey messages going forward to an age of people who only live in sound bites. I think creating porno or maybe videos that are maybe not all porn, but maybe just like very suggestive in nature, I think we can save the world. I think this is it. We just didn't realize it at the time. And I know some people are like, well, listen, this is immoral. We should not be promoting pornography. It's not good. Now, what say I? I say that people are going to watch it anyway. Why not benefit from it? I'm not promoting it, but I can guarantee you, if you go and look at your husband, son's brother, search browsing history, you're gonna find something that's highly suspicious. Why not utilize that for something for good? You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna stop it. Let's benefit from it. Don't you want to breathe clean air? Don't you want to know, because your person that you were talking to or your son has been in the bathroom for 45 minutes, now you have planted a tree? Imagine. I think it's amazing. And I think we've got to stop judging it. I think this is how we create it. This is what we do. This is how we make the world a better place. Heal the world. Watch a porn. Or two. Or three. Or four or five. Let's just plant all the trees we can. And listen, Pornhub, expand that. We need to do it more than Arbor Day. And somebody tell me, what the hell is Arbor Day? I need for somebody to tell me what that is. So this has been another episode of Millennials Anonymous. Like I said, we will be back again next week, Lord willing. And for another it's not Monday, is it? Tuesday episode. We air on Tuesday. My mind is all mush. But we will be back for a special viewer's choice episode on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, live on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to have our special guest. I already told you about Miss Alicia Nicole from the Alicia Experience, Christy, Kenny, Ogle, and Miss Ashley Hayes, all talking about a bunch of different viewers' choice topics, things that we've talked about on past shows, things that people wanted to hear about and us to talk about on the show. And I was like, I can't talk about it all by myself, so I got to bring some other people in. So we got some guests coming. So that should be a blast. And Brunching with E. Diggett and Lise will be on at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Charm City Direct TV, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, all that jazz. So tune into that. But certainly not least, thanks again for tuning in and watching. We love and appreciate all of you. Hearts. And if you want to be a part of the show, if you're an amazing millennial and you want to be on Millennials Class, which is actually the show, the special episode, we're going to be having Millennials Class come on at least once a month, or we'll have this if you're a choice panel pop up jazz thing. If you want to be a part of that, please send an email, and all that will be on the screen right now. I'll put it on the screen. I'm knocking down, tearing down the house right there. There you go. And just let us know. All right. Bye.